Today, we're making an OC by spinning a wheel filled with, that's right, your comments. I asked you to give me some keywords that could make up an OC, and thank you to those who commented. This video wouldn't be happening without your contribution. For this challenge, I added all of your keywords in a spinning wheel and chose 3 of them. Amongst the 3 words the wheel lands on, I'll merge them together to create a character. Simple enough, right? So let's spin the wheel and see what's our first word. Ooh, bioluminescence. Okay, so like a glowing life form. That's pretty cool. Here's spin number 2. Oh, iPod Touch. Wow. A blast from the past. Maybe I can make a glowing iPod character or something. Anyways, let's see what our final one will be. Frutiger Aero. I didn't know what this was at first. I thought it was like an aero bar, but it's actually like the early 2000s desktop aesthetic. These words make for a pretty interesting theme, kind of a more nostalgic theme for me, so let's see what I can make out of these 3 words. I started by drawing a more chill pose with oversized clothing, since the 2000s were filled with oversized everything and lots of jeans. I saw this really cool picture of a bunch of CDs on some jeans, and I knew I wanted to recreate it and add it to my character. I was thinking for the overall aesthetic of the piece that I would focus more on the Frutiger Aero part and have the 2 others as add-ons. I wasn't too sure what to do with the iPod Touch besides making an actual iPod Touch, and for the bioluminescence, I had this idea of the character carrying jellyfish in a transparent bag maybe, since she's a marine biologist in my headcanon and wants to bring jellyfish back to their natural habitat. This explains why she has a scuba diving helmet thing, but it also looks like a bubble, which their Frutiger Aero aesthetic has loads of. I had in mind to make her headphones and shoes glow, but then I realized it's not exactly bioluminescence, since bioluminescence means emission of light by living organisms, which made me think, the shoes and the headphones can still work if they have bioluminescent water in them. As for the colors, I wanted to keep it blue and white for the most part. Since all the words fit into a similar color palette, I went for different hues of blue and white to make the piece look a bit more interesting. Lastly, I struggled a bit with her hair, but I ended up liking the orange look on her because orange and blue are complementary colors. This also gives a pop of color compared to the rest of the piece, and if you want to see a video on color theory and how colors can make or break your artworks, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out when I do post that video. So I thought I was done here, but got a helpful critique from my partner, saying that I could have been more Frutiger Aero-y. So last minute, I changed the white cadet color to a blue one, and I think this looks a lot better. What do you think? I like how this one turned out, but deep down, I still feel like I could have made it a bit better, but I'm not too sure how. Anyways, let's move on to the second character. Let's spin the wheel again, and for our first word we have evaporation. Okay, interesting. For the second one we have Webcore. Looks like this episode's really in its early digital era. And for the third word we have fantasy, which I guess is kind of like the opposite of Webcore, but I'm excited to see what I can make out of this. When drawing this character, I was trying to think of how I could fuse Webcore with fantasy, until I realized that a lot of fantasy, or mainly isekai I should say, have a world system function that only the protagonist can see and it's invisible to everyone else. But I thought to myself, what if the system was the OC? So that's what I tried to emulate in this piece. I thought that the system could wear medieval armor since that's the setting most fantasy anime are in, but instead of traditional armor, I made the armor a lot more annoying. By that, I mean I made the armor out of the annoying spam pop-ups. So when you damage, or I guess click off, of a piece of armor, the character then gains more armor since the pop-up duplicates, giving this OC an incredible durability, and of course, since he is the system, he can bypass most of this world's mechanics. I thought it'd be funny that he can only do certain glitches in the world since the world system is in a different language, so he can only bypass some rules, which is why I gave him this awkward pose looking at the sign like. For the sword, I wanted to make a giant cursor as the blade and have the handle be part computer mouse and USB cause Webcore in it. For the evaporation part of the character, I thought to maybe have the coding numbers used in computers to fade away from him, as if the code was being constantly vaporized by him coexisting with another world system. And that's all I can think of for his lore, so enjoy the rest of this time lapse. I had a lot of fun making these characters, and if you think about it, we all collaborated on these characters, so they are yours as well. If you have any suggestions on how to improve them, or if you have a name for them, please comment them down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's get at least 50 likes if you want to see a part 2. And of course, have yourselves a lovely day. Bye!